Dealing with Social Security used to be frustrating, but now, well, it's becoming a complete nightmare. Just last week, I heard from someone who waited on hold for 2 hours only to get disconnected. But guess what? It's about to get worse. Why? Because the Social Security Administration is cutting staff, closing field offices, and making it harder than ever to speak to a real person. This isn't just inconvenient, it could mean serious trouble for millions of Americans who rely on those checks every single month. But just before we take a deep dive, it's imperative that you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game changing video that affects your finances. And I promise you'll appreciate it. So buckle up and let's plunge straight in. So let's start with the big picture. The Social Security Administration, or the SSA, handles over 70 million payments every month. That's retirement, disability, and survivor benefits. And all of those are critical to keeping people financially stable. But here's the problem: the SSA has been cutting staff for years. They had around 68,000 employees in 2010. Now it's down to around 50,000, and they're planning to cut another 12,000 this year. Add to that, only 47% of calls to the Social Security 800 number are getting through, down from 60% last year. And if you think that's bad, starting March the 31st, you won't even be able to apply for benefits or change your direct deposit over the phone anymore. You'll have to do it online or in person. That's right, they're removing the phone option altogether. So if you don't have internet access or you live far from an office, tough luck. But it gets worse. Take Holly Lawrence. She's 64, lives in Washington, D.C., and has been trying to file for Social Security benefits. She called the SSA's 800 number multiple times, and every time she got an automated message about a 2 hour wait. So after waiting for weeks just to get an activation code for her online account, she's still waiting for her claim to be processed. And she's not alone. Nearly 85,000 additional people are expected to flood the field offices because of these cuts, making wait times even longer. Now, if you think this is a mistake, it's not. This is part of a larger plan to streamline the federal government through the Department of Government Efficiency, which, as you know, is headed by Elon Musk. And here's the kicker: there's already talk of benefit reductions starting in 2033 if Congress doesn't fix the program's funding shortfall. That would mean a 21% cut in payments. Now, here's what they're not telling you. A new, a new rule quietly introduced by Doge could make it even harder to get your benefits approved. I'll explain what that is in just a second, but first, let's unpack how these changes could affect you. So, if you're trying to file for Social Security benefits, you can expect much longer wait times. If you rely on phone support, well, that option is disappearing by the end of the month. And if you need help in person, better hope your local office isn't one of those 50 offices that are slated for closure. And about that new rule, here's the big problem. Social Security is tightening identity verification to fight fraud. But instead of fixing the process, they're making it harder for regular people to prove exactly who they are. And if you have a problem with your payment, well, hey, good luck on that. The average callback time is already over 2 hours. That's if you can even get through. Now let's talk about fraud for a second, because to me, it's a smokescreen. The Social Security Administration's own reports show that improper payment accounts for just 0.3% of total benefits. But now they're making it harder for everyone because of that tiny percentage. To me, it doesn't add up. Social Security has always been the third rail of American politics, meaning no one ever wants to touch it because it's so politically explosive. President Trump himself promised not to cut benefits, but that's exactly where this is heading. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick recently said that if Social Security checks were delayed, it will help catch fraudsters because they would be the loudest one complaining. Seriously? This isn't about fraud, it's about eroding trust in the system. And if benefits are reduced in 2033, the average monthly Social Security check is around $1,907. A 21% reduction will cut that down to around $1,500. Now, for millions of Americans, that's the difference between paying rent or not. So, where does that leave us? With fewer employees, fewer offices, and fewer options for support. This isn't just a customer service problem, it's a crisis. And here's the scary part: there's a loophole hidden in the new identity verification system that could lead to massive, and I mean massive, benefit denials. Now, I'll break that loophole down and tell you exactly how to avoid it in one of my new videos. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. And if you've had trouble with Social Security, and let's face it, who hasn't, drop a comment below because your story matters. Because at this rate, if they're not cutting benefits outright, they're making it so hard to get them that it feels like the same thing. So, my friends, stay informed and stay prepared.